As you know, I have a ton of PSA slabs, and I'm constantly adding them to the table. However, it's a lot of work to price them, and typically I got all these other little chores to do. Some nights I get some price, some nights I don't. And so today I thought maybe we'd just have two live streams. We'll have a separate live stream where I can work on getting these slabs priced. How's it going, Tyler? So I've just got a whole shelf full of these, and yeah, I figured maybe if you guys were a little more aware of what I had, we could get some of them moved. Okay, the work's got to be done either way. I've been whittling away at the pile. The pile's finally been getting small enough that I figure this might be worth my time. I like this pre-stream business. Yeah, so this is a very simple live stream. There's no packs for sale. I got some Animal Crossing music in the background. And we're just going to start pricing these up like crazy. Maybe we ought to move all these ones that are already on the table, move them off somewhere. Let's see, can I get an empty ETB? Let's get an empty ETB. How's it going, Emily? What a treat, a daytime stream. I know, right? I don't even have time to be doing this, in a way. There's always something for me to be working on. But, I just got so many slabs. I really do. I got so many. Okay, we're going to move this to this side. What else do we got over here? All right, these will be left alone. You're live during the day. I can always go live during the day. I took the red pill. What does that mean? What's the red pill? What's the red pill mean for you? You're saying you're not a nice guy anymore? I took the red pill. You're funny, man. Yeah, mister. What, mister? Yeah, what, mister? You good. Rotate all the slabs. Do you have any Gyarados slabs? I mean, I probably do. I can watch this while I ride on my exercise bike. This will be fun. Ah, yes, exercise. Okay, there's the first edition Lieutenant Surge's Raichu. That's really nice. Onyx. And what do we got here? That's residue left over from a sticker. Kind of gross. Oh, these Misty's Tears will probably sell. These are real nice. Of course, the 10, as you guys know, is like a $700 card, right? Okay, so we'll get my stickers out and get started. Darn, maybe that'll happen eventually. You thought you'd travel into the future. Nope, early stream. I'm based in Pokepilled. Are we allowed to order these now, or do we have to wait? You can order them right now while we're live. In fact, for fun, what we could do, we could have sort of like a large for your favorite slab. Of course, we have the Umbreon in the large right now. You could probably jump in the large while we're live, since the large is a slab. I can never say hello because of the late streams, but just wanted to say I listen to your streams every day. Damn, dude. Thanks, man. Yeah, I figure there's probably a number of people who watch the live streams afterwards, but we're up pretty late, aren't we? Especially for people who are in the just in the wrong time zone for this late night live stream. I'm not in the Matrix. I am the Matrix. What? Let's start with those Misty's Tears. I know people are going to be looking at the Misty's Tears. You used to do day streams. What happened to those? Well, not really. Did I do day streams? All right, it looks like the Misty's Tears will be priced at $179. Of course, the other thing you guys should always... Oops. That's not going to be a 1, is it? The other thing you guys should always be considering doing on this live stream is you can always offer me a trade for my slabs too, right? So if you pull something nice out of the live custom boosters or the winner of the large or something like that, you could be like, hey, I'll trade you cards for cards. Misty's Tears is a 700 card is a 10. It is. Isn't that wild? Tom says, hello, mister. How's it going, Tom? Okay, we're going to do 55 for the Magnemite. It's like the home shopping channel, isn't it? So yeah, Lieutenant Surge's Raichu and Onyx. You can order the cards as they get priced up. That's totally fine. But today, right now, I'm not doing any booster packs right now in this live stream. So no booster packs, just PSA cards. Good evening from Austria. Yay! Guten Abend. Abend? Guten Abend? How do I contact you? Well, you know, you can contact me from my Discord server. That's the best way to contact me. Here, I'll just give out my phone number. Even though this Lieutenant Surge's Raichu is a 6, I think he's a really sexy card because he's first edition. Okay. Some cards are harder to price than others. Like, there's some unlimited ones, and they're priced at 100. I'd like my first edition card to be a little more expensive than that. We're going to go for 120. Okay, so that's the first round. If you order a card, just let me know. If you price, we can buy immediately? Yes. You totally can. Now, let's see. Did I grab a big chunk of these to grade, or do I need to go over there and grab some? You guys want to see what I have to grade? Well, no, I don't need to do that. I don't want to lift the camera up right now. So let me grab a big chunk. There's going to be a mix of 10s and 9s. And lower grades, of course. There's a nice little stack. So I got a lot of stacks like that. I saw the medium last night, and I missed some of the giveaways, and I didn't see my name on the mod for the medium. Russ, no! I was putting the mods on there for if the mod was present. Maybe you were present, I didn't see it. You had to be there. Mod champ, you're usually there, though. If it makes you feel better, though, Russ, the mod spot, the giveaway mod spot was not the winning spot. Okay, we got Mewtwo. You were looking? I'm sorry, Russ. Oh, Russ. You know what this means, Russ. It means I have to give you some free Pokies. Okay, there we go. So that's going to be the next round. Achilles GL. Man, we got a lot of mods. What's up, Chills? Glad to see that you've been growing. 30K is a great achievement. Did you guys notice we broke 30,100 last night? That's really wild. That's very fast movement. You know, I activated something I'd never done before. I activated, I made a change to the live chat where you had to be subscribed to participate in the live chat, and voila, picked up a ton of subscribers right away. So I didn't even know that was an option. All these people been hanging out with us in the live chat, but they couldn't be bothered to subscribe. And then they're like, ah, man, I guess I'll have to subscribe now. Just funny to me. Ah, man. Guess I'll click that button. Incentives. So, let's see. I really don't sell these Machamps very fast. I'm actually going to go under the market price. I'm going to make this Machamp about, I think you guys would come close to $37 on the Machamp. Okay, there's a lovely looking Mewtwo. That's so cool. You're down the road from me. Where are you at? Kansas City? Columbia? Mewtwo. Mewtwo base. Maybe you're from You're from Springfield. Did you know when I was a kid, my father, he had to work in Springfield for his job for a little while. He was like a teacher, and he taught engineers how to troubleshoot boards in big manufacturing companies for Allen Bradley. And he had to spend a week in Springfield. And since I was homeschooled, I didn't have to go to school. He brought me with him out there to Springfield for a week. So that was a really special memory when I was a kid. Springfield, Missouri. We stopped at Lambert's on the way there. Okay, there's Mewtwo. Watching from Omaha. Nice. Yeah, Springfield's nice. Actually, Springfield's so close to Lake of the Ozarks. I bet a bunch of people from Springfield come up here for some partying on the weekend during the summertime. Chianchio says, I sent money for the mod champ. You got it, Chianchio. I'll set this to the side. How much did you price the Misty's Tears? That says $179. Misty's Tears are really kind of like, they're sort of like a, what's the word? They're like a premier card. They always sell. They sell, and they sell very fast. They sell very easily. People are like envious to have one. How's the weather out there? Today it is kind of cloudy and rainy, which is why we have cloudy, rainy music playing with Animal Crossing. The Mewtwo's 55. Yep. The Mewtwo is 55. What's really nice about these cards I've been showing off is it's a lot of vintage stuff. Vintage stuff is cool. So if you see something and you realize, hey, I'd kind of like that in my collection, you know what I say about vintage. I think vintage is the good stuff, and modern's overprinted. All right, so here is a PSA 6 Dark Magneton. I feel like cracking it out and sending it off to CGC. I really do, because, what cost it to grade 6? They probably found something that they consider damage and dropped it all the way to a 6. And if I send it off to CGC, it'd probably be like an 8. PSA is really harsh on their lower grades. Dark Arbok. I got another Dark Arbok. I guess we'll price them together. Here's a Wigglytuff. Any real low grades? Maybe. 6 is pretty low. 6 is like as low as I'll go for getting a cheap, low graded card. Maybe 5. I think 5 is probably the limit, because anything below 5 is just kind of like junk. When you get 6, you're like, well, at least I'm above 5. 5 is like the center, right? Any PSA ones? There might be. I got a really cool CGC one. Did I ever show that to you guys? It's a card with a story to it. But, I don't have time to show it off right now. I've got to get some slabs priced. So we're going to do this for about an hour, and then I'm going to be done. And these same slabs will be available in tonight's live stream, too. So that'll be my main audience. So come and watch that, and many of these might sell at that point. At least the ones that are evidently more desirable, they'll end up being scooped up by people, because that's always what happens. So if you guys are here early and my main audience doesn't know I'm live, you get to see them first, which I guess is kind of an advantage. What's up, War Turtle? I'll see you in the morning. Sell me Pokies. You got it, man. Selling you those Pokies. Now, look at this. Can you believe that this card over here is only $43? I don't know what's up with the Dark Magneton, but he does not go for a lot of money unless he's a 10. He's like one of my favorite cards. I think he just looks fantastic. I should just take a lot of money one day and just wipe the market out of all the lower grade Magnetons, because I think he's one of the best looking Rocket cards. but the market disagrees with me. Sorry if I'm not answering every message. I am pricing up cards at the moment, so I'm using my eyeballs for that. All right, so these Dark Arbok are $40 a piece, but I think that I'm going to make them $37 a piece. Ban this fool. Here's a 5, speaking of 5s. So that's a Nidoqueen First Edition 5. Looks really nice, actually. What's the cheapest slab you have? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't price these. I gotta price these. You know that Dark Arbok's one of the cheapest ones right now. Oh, that's not Chansey, that's Wigglytuff. So the Wigglytuff is 58. I'll make my Wigglytuff 55. Will you be streaming tonight as well? I most definitely will. Yep. How long does PSA take for $150 Express? Probably pretty fast. Probably about a month, if not sooner. I don't recommend it. I think that's absolutely a terrible price to pay. I myself have sent exactly zero cards off Express. So guess how much money I've wasted on Express? Nothing. So all my money is carefully saved. And when they open up, when they fully open up, then I'll go send my cards off. So I'm going to make my Vaporeon slightly cheaper at $45. It's kind of a cute card, right? People love the evolutions. 2 weeks. I did it on my Crystal Lugia. Now, Crystal Lugia might make a little bit of sense. Some cards are so expensive, you're kind of required to send them express. But only, only certain cards are that expensive. Ooh. The Venusaur will probably be priced at it. This Venusaur will probably be priced at another date. We have a PSA 6 Venusaur. Do do do. Do you collect Pokemon Tops? I have 4 PSA 10 Tops cards. They're all pretty expensive. And I would like to focus on Tops, but not right now. There are some other collecting goals I have. But yeah, Tops is a really good one. I would definitely recommend Tops. I think Tops is fantastic. Big fan of them, actually. They just look very good, and they're vintage, and people have memories of them. So we get another Stimmy. If we do get another Stimmy, I can promise you that I'll be listing a lot of cards for sale during that time period. I sent an SGC 10 First Edition Dark Dragonite. I cracked open a PSA and it came back an 8. Should I crack and resub in your opinion? Well, maybe, I don't know if this would influence how they grade it, but maybe you shouldn't be cracking them open. Maybe you should just be going for the reholder. You know what I mean? So, oops. Well, this one's not in a sleeve. So instead of cracking cards open, maybe take like CGC 9.5s and send them into PSA for reholder or something like that. Or vice versa. Like if you have a PSA 10 and it's looking real good, try to reholder it with CGC and see if they can give it a pristine. If they give it a pristine, that's an upgrade. Means you can sell it for more. All right, here we go. We got our next round of cards. Flareon, Nidoqueen, Hitmonchan, and Venusaur. What's up, Jeremy? They're all for sale as soon as they're priced, so you can buy them immediately. That is an unlimited jungle Flareon. How much is Venusaur? You're so funny, man. I'm pricing them right now, man. Give me a second. Obviously, I've not put the price on that one. Tell me now. So I didn't find an equivalent Flareon. I'm going to put the Flareon at about $37. There's Nido Queen. What a queen. Price harder. Price me, daddy. Relaxing stream. You know, the nightly live stream when I'm opening up packs and all that, that is a performance, and it takes a lot of energy, especially to do it every night. That takes a lot of energy. You guys will notice I don't take days off from that live stream. So I'm not finding. Yeah, it takes a lot of energy to host it every single day. So here's a 7 for 85. So we'll make the 5 60. Night Queen might be a little more popular. Let's get this camera just right. Daniel Sanhue says, yes, this feels weird. It's just me and you and our quiet thoughts together. Want to talk about peepees or something? I've never seen Mister in the daytime. How much would a 5 base set Charizard go for? $2. People act like I'm an encyclopedia of prices. You know what I mean? Could you explain Slab Away for the newcomers? Yeah, so on Slab Away, there's a $25 fee, and when you pay that fee, you reserve a slab off of the table. So you can say, hey, I want that slab. I'll pay the $25 reserve fee. And then you're allowed to pay that slab down over 6 months. That's half a year. That's a really long time when it comes to the world of Pokemon cards. So let's say you really wanted Nido Queen and let's say she cost $6,000. You could pay me $25 to go put her in the Slab Away box, and then you pay down the $6,000 over 6 months. It's a great deal in my opinion. I wouldn't really use it for the cheap cards because you're just paying $25 extra for a cheap card. I've seen people use it on cards that cost $150. Like, okay, I get it. If you want, if you don't care about that $25, you just want to be able to make payments. I get it. It's a great way to sort of give yourself a goal. One of the problems with Pokemon cards sometimes is that there's cards you really want, but you don't have the discipline to save up for them. So it's a good way to sort of force yourself to have some discipline with them. Or maybe you see a card, it's really good. You don't have money for it at the time, but you don't want somebody else to get it first. And we have a channel in Discord that keeps track of how much money you have left on it. So you can work it down and keep track of it in Discord. And then every time you make a payment, there's a 75-cent fee. That's the PayPal flat fee. So there's a flat fee. Every time you run a PayPal transaction, there's a little fee that they include. And so I charge 75 cents for that. And when you make a payment, I update your Slab Away in Discord. I'm trying to do two things at the same time. Handing out life lessons with selling pokies. I do like to talk about, I do like to talk about finance quite a lot. Have you gotten all your basic PSA returns back yet? PSA still got a lot of my cards, but they've also sent back a lot of cards. Ooh, I just got an offer. Somebody just sent me an offer to buy their stuff. I'm not going to accept it, though. I don't have the money for it. I'd beat that Hitmonchan one-on-one. So Venusaur is a little more pricey. That's because Venusaur is one of those 3 starter Pokemon. Mister, I'm in love with coins now, thanks to you. Oh, you like coins? That's cool, man. I got a Dark Magician with you still. I figured they got it still, though. I have a Blackout themed it. Blackout. I thought we priced a Mewtwo. Yeah, here it is. So the Mewtwo was $55. We got a second one of the same grade, so we're going to price that $55. What's up, Goblin? How's it going, man? I'm going to go. Good seeing you. Thanks, Charlie. Hey. All right. So what's this? This is a Dark Doug Trio 6. Okay. This is a cool one. Look at that. Team Rocket returns Togepi Reverse Hollow. I actually opened this one myself out of a booster pack, but I knew it wasn't going to grade 10 when I saw it. 2 off center. I think I probably paid about $500 for the booster pack, so I think this recuperates some of that cost, but I need the non-hollows to make me money too. So, I'm going to go look up the PSA pop for that. You guys are going to be shocked. All right. So for the Togepi, there's 2 10s in the world, and there's 25 9s, and this is one of them. Actually, I should probably make sure I have a 10. I don't know if I have a 10. If I only have a 9, I might just keep it. But I don't know. I've been selling off my 9s. It is really hard to say. I feel like you could just hold on to Rocket Returns 9s, and even they would go up in price pretty substantially. So that's the problem I've been running into. Hard to sell them off. Will you not stream tonight? Oh, I'll be on tonight. This is a special little stream where I'm showing off some PSA slabs. Look, I got the Togetic. There's the Togetic. I may not have the Togepi. All right. Do I really not have the Togepi? Yeah, this is a problem with selling the Rocket Returns 9s. They're really that rare. So you see, I already had a 9. God, I would have liked for that to grade 10. Too thin up here. Am I losing money on the cards because PSA Express is so expensive? No, I wouldn't say that. I'd say that people who are grading cards with PSA right now are losing money, though. Especially anyone who's buying the recently graded modern cards. I think you're crazy. Those are so overpriced. They're like overpriced by ridiculous amounts. And they're not even rare. They'll never be rare because Pokemon will print so much of these modern cards. How'd you know I get paid tonight, says Nickabla. I just finished shipping some of your cards, I think. Kind of fell behind on shipping for a minute there. Why this early, mister? Hello, by the way. How's it going, man? Man, that Togepi looks good. I'm pretty confident that Togepi is going to keep moving up in price. I don't know, man. I feel like this is stupid. I shouldn't even be selling these. Sometimes it feels like you're just supposed to sell cards because you're supposed to sell cards. You gonna open anything? Not right now. The title says pricing my PSA cards. All right, so the reverse hollow Togepi's will be $195. When will Mr. TCC grading go live? It's looking like it's going to be going into November. It's a little more complicated than it looks. It takes a little while. We're getting closer, though. I promise you, we are getting closer. Anyone submitting any cards? Right now, there's two main things that are taking time. They are creating metal plates for the label, and they are manufacturing the actual slabs. I bought $10,000 of slabs, and so it takes a while for those to actually get manufactured and shipped. So it takes a while for them to actually get over here. What's the quadratic formula? Man, I used to remember that stuff. Quadratic formula. 2AB over C. I don't remember any of it. Squared root, the root of. Let's see. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. That's not right. Look, according to this Togetic is also a Pop 2 card. Maybe it's a Pop 3 card by now. Actually, I'm curious. Okay, so the Togetic is no longer a Pop 2 card. It is, in fact, a Pop 3 card. Nah, bro, that Pythagorean. Very cool, man. I really like that card. So there's some lovely Togepi's for $195. It's the negative B plus the negative square root of B squared minus 4AC over 2A. Nice. Now you can solve for the missing X. Did you figure out the machine problem? I have not. I've not managed to hook up the air compressor to the sonic welder. Here's Chansey. Here is, man, look at that, PSA 9 Wooper. Man. Here we are. If PSA isn't worth it right now, where should you go for minting? You have a number of choices. You could do CGC, BGS. Well, BGS is pretty expensive too, I think. CGC, you could do SGC, which is actually still kind of expensive and I don't think holds quite that much value. Those two are pretty big, actually, so those would be the two I'd be considering. You could do some mom and pop card shops as long as you like them, I guess. TCC grading is the correct answer to the question. People really spending $500 on the Celebration Ultra Premium Collection. Yeah, I mean, all they, it's very silly to me because all they have to do is be patient and the price will come down. That is the truth. All they have to do is wait a little while. Timing. Timing's really important. Lately I haven't spent a dime on modern cards. And that is because I believe years from now, a lot of them will be done grading 10 and the populations will blow up and that will be a much better time to buy them. Okay, next round of cards. They must just be buying the metal cards, right? Do you have to take a card grading class or something to start your own? No, there's no such thing as card grading class. That's silly. Actually, I had somebody who was like, man, he's not even certified to grade cards. It's like, the fuck? No one is. No one's certified to grade cards. It's just a for-profit company, and they set their own standards. PSA is. Like the government has created some card standard, and You have to get a license to grade. Actually, it's shit when that starts to happen. Those are barriers of entry that establishments create that kind of crap to keep you out of the market from competing with them. That's the whole point of those things. They don't want you starting up your own business. They do that like with medicine, right? So you can't just become a medical doctor because you're knowledgeable. You have to go get a license to become a medical doctor. And they do stuff like that to keep you out of the competition. They don't want you competing with them for work. One of the reasons why healthcare is so expensive. Shining Ho-Oh. Buy the pack break. Did you use Epoch Cam? We tried to use it yesterday. We were running some experiments. You don't need a license to authenticate, though. Not at all. No, you do not. Why would you need a license for that? That's silly as hell. All right. People think that a license means anything, too. Isn't that funny? Like, let me ask you this. If you took the license away from the best doctor in the world, would he suddenly be a shit doctor? No. He'd be the same doctor. So licenses are just, we make them up so that you're not allowed to join. You're not allowed to be a doctor. Only unless we give you one of the licenses. That's the whole point of a license, if you guys don't know that. It's like a union. Keeps people from competing. My driver's license means nothing, I guess, in the past. We're right. If the government took away your driver's license, are you suddenly a shit driver? Not really. Although they do take it away from people who are shit drivers. He wouldn't be allowed to operate as a doctor if he didn't have a license. Well, yeah, of course not. That's not the point. The point is that if you took away his license, he would be just as skilled of a doctor. It's not the license that makes somebody good at their job. God, dude. It's like I have the license. I've now been bestowed the skills necessary to do this work. That's not how it works. Only now do I have the power to be a doctor. People have to be told this stuff. I had to be told it. Somebody had to tell me. So, that's why we use words like woke these days. Because someone's got to wake you up. Let's see. Sand Slash. I know somebody who wants a Sand Slash from this collection. I want to watch this, but I'm at work till 11. I'm sorry. We need late night license to be able to sell food after 11 p.m. That's right. Wait, are you being serious? Is that a thing? Ooh, look at that. That's because people will turn into gremlins. I don't know if you're familiar with that movie. It's a horror movie where you feed your little animal after 12 and then they turn into an evil monster. So here's an Erica's Clefable from Lovely Gem Heroes. JC says that's a serious thing in the UK. Wow. Man. The government needs to be thrown out or something. We need to restart. Government's afraid you're going to sell food at night. That's insane, man. Ooh, what is this? Damn, that's sexy. How's it going, Audie? He says hello from his proud country of Romania. How's it going, man? I was just learning things about Romania. Just the other day. Isn't that a pity? Look at this thick wig. She graded 9. Still a good grade, I guess. Mm-hmm. There we go. Hello, from my proud country, I'm Boston. Boston? Not so good. People won't get vaccinated and the Pokemon prices have tripled. Well, the Pokemon prices have tripled over here, too. People won't get vaccinated. Romania having problems with COVID. I've heard they're in lockdown again. Here's Rayquaza. Yeah, COVID's really came in and wrecked a lot of people. You'd think we'd hold China responsible for it because I'm pretty sure it was a lab leak, right? But they won't let us even investigate that. The reason they won't let us investigate it probably is because it's true. And if we found out it was true, we'd want some kind of compensation from China. But China says, nah, you're not going to investigate, and we're going to launch a hypersonic missile in front of you instead to let you know what's going to happen if you instigate a problem with this. And then we curl back and whimper because we're receding receding west. We go, oh, okay. Please keep making our stuff. All right. So Clefable is kind of a little bit pricier. The reason is your government is afraid of not having China on their good side. That's exactly what I meant. That's what I'm saying. And I'm saying that's pathetic as hell. All right, I made my Clefable a little cheaper. U.S. shriveled PP. That's right. Not just the United States. I would say the West. The West in general. It's not just a United States problem. That's why you see the rise of populism and the rise of nationalism in Europe. Just true, I'm pretty sure. Okay, this is 24. And the UK had Brexit. Rayquaza. By the way, if you guys are wondering if you're allowed to order these now, you're allowed to order them the moment I put a price on them. Just letting you know. Poland are now looking for the same Brexit type of thing. Sure. Based Poland, isn't that what people say? Poland said, we're a Christian country and we don't want to turn into anything else. And then people are outraged at them. How could they? I'm not even Christian, and I respect that they want to do that. Cody says, licenses are mainly used as quality control for professions. It does create a barrier of entry, but for some things, I believe they are necessary. StockX has an ability to authenticate stuff, but their quality control is bad. Yeah, I mean, whoever distributes the license, though, I question that kind of stuff a lot. You know what I mean? Like, I think that licenses are necessary in some ways. I think in other ways, they're really just to protect an industry from competition. And so that's when I really stopped liking licenses. I really like competition. I'm big on competition. Competition is good. Call of Legends Rayquaza is $579. It's pretty expensive. Teacher's license is necessary. No, I don't agree with that one. I think schools are antiquated. In fact, I think we ought to just get rid of schools. I think you should just teach your own kid at home and teach them on YouTube. I think schools are crazy antiquated. And there should be like a college test that you can all apply for and start seeing how smart your kid is. And then if you want your kid to be taught by, let's say you want to hire a teacher or something, you pay out of your own pocket for the teacher. It's not paid for by the government. All right, so WIC would be $80, but we should get rid of public education. We'll stop paying for that garbage. 79. Ooh. Teach your own kid. What if the parent is stupid? Well, luckily, if you, I'll tell you what. I'll go this far. Let's say that the kid should have access to the internet. I think that the problem with saying that the parent is stupid is I feel like the teachers are kind of stupid already. I mean, you send your kid to one stupid place, or you're sending your kid to another stupid place. You say you didn't learn anything from being homeschooled. Actually, I learned a lot from working for my dad. I learned an enormous amount. But more importantly, the fact that I didn't learn anything from homeschooling and still passed with a pretty good grade and a computer science degree taught me that my middle school education was a massive waste of time. Like, who cares if I didn't learn anything? What I did learn is how to run a business. congrats on 30,000 subscribers. Why, thank you, Johnny. I really appreciate it, man. I think you're really wrong in this situation. Education is the backbone of society. It looks a lot like society is falling apart to me. Not a very good backbone, in my opinion. Mister, I sent for the thick wick. Oh, the wick is sold. So let me set it to the side. I don't think society is doing so well. Everyone's broke. Everyone's in debt. Nobody's got any savings. Countries are all running deficits everywhere. Nobody's having kids anymore. Broken families everywhere. Crime everywhere. I think society is turning worse than it was for our grandparents. I think our grandparents had it better. Enze says public school is free healthcare. I'm sorry, free daycare. That's actually not true. It's paid for daycare. You actually pay taxes for the public school. So what could happen is if the government actually got rid of public school, you would pay less taxes. You'd probably pay significantly less taxes, right? Like what we know about social goods that everybody receives, we know they're exceedingly expensive. And so if you got rid of public education, you could probably drop taxes by enormous amounts. But that only benefits people who are working, which is why they'll never do it. So we let a lot of people who don't work vote. All right, Holland Fantons or Rayquaza. Life is becoming easier and has made it harder. Globalists are the problems in the end. I don't think it's just globalists, but it's constantly competing ideologies. All right. More money for the military. Hell yeah. So let's see. Oops. You think if you don't have a job, you shouldn't be allowed to vote? I actually strongly believe that, yes. Actually, I'll go further than that. Not only should you not vote if you don't have a job, you shouldn't vote if you are a net tax loss for the country. So let's say you do work, but you actually cost the country money, you still shouldn't vote. We should get rid of that immediately. Doesn't make any sense. WTF, the Call of Legends rate is 500 and not a 10. Holy moly. What would you suggest instead of a medical license? I guess people can review their doctors online. Why should you have an influence on society if you don't contribute to society? No job, no vote. I agree. Well, right. Well, it becomes very quickly becomes a situation where you got a lot of people sitting in the wagon and very few people pulling the wagon. And the people sitting in the wagon go, you know what? We need more stuff. We're going to have more stuff. And it just becomes very quickly becomes a race to the bottom on how much stuff you can, as a mob, vote to give yourself. And that's why the founding fathers did not want a democracy. Democracies don't work. I think you also shouldn't vote if you don't have prosperity. Well, I'll just say it in a really fast way. The problem with democracy is too many stupid people vote. It's really simple. Too many dumb people vote. All right, here we are. So a veteran who can't find a job is not allowed to work. I think what you meant to say, not allowed to vote. Of course, if you're a veteran, you should also be allowed to vote because veterans actually, they worked for the country. So that's fair as well. That is fair as well. Sound like the UK. How are you going to say too many stupid people vote, but want to do away with teachers? Having a teacher does not make you smart. I went to school. I'm super smart. I think a lot of educated people do very poorly in life. Let's see. Unlimited Clefairy. If you went to school, I'm sure all you guys did, you could probably name on your hand like 10 people in public school who weren't that smart. Just because they had a teacher didn't mean they were smart. Can you grade metal cards? I think so. You could probably list people that you knew in school who you thought were pretty dumb. And they all had teachers. Let's see. What's up, Eddie Petty? Yeah, I think that there's some hardworking people who didn't receive a very good education, and I care a lot about what they think about how the country should be ran. You know what I mean? So there's guys who earn a lot of money who never even went to college. Are they more stupid than some guy who went to college and now he's got a big college debt and he's demanding communism? Right? So think about that for a minute. Really let that sink in for a few seconds. There's some guys demanding some really stupid stuff and they're very educated. Has nothing to do with education. Here's Meganium. Any Dragon Ball Super Slabs? Here's a Mewtwo. Hey, mister, I messaged you on Discord. Please let me know if you get it. It's about the last giveaway from last night that I won, says Kristen. Thank you very much, Kristen. I can be pretty slow to answer my messages. The smartest people I know were unschooled. Well, yeah, and also very smart people tend to drop out of school, too. So, you know, some of the biggest entrepreneurs in the world, they just straight up dropped out of school. They said, see ya, sayonara, we're out of here. Socialism is the step before communism. Well, socialism is the step before you become a weak welfare state that doesn't innovate. All the innovators leave. All the entrepreneurs leave. And then you live poorer, but you think that you don't. I don't even vote. Voting is whack. I agree. I don't even want democracy anymore. I don't believe in it. I just don't know if I set the message to the right spot or not. Voting is whack. I'm ready to go back to kings. And I vote, of course, to be the first dictator. I'm electing myself. You're welcome. I would be the best dictator, you know? I'm crazy. All right, let's see. So we got a Meganium. Bring back medieval ways. I just don't believe in liberal democracies. I think liberal democracies do not work. You can't, you don't protect your own nation at some point. You just say, have it, it's yours, you know? I don't even want this country. I hate it. I hate it and I hate myself. There we go. Marty, we have to go back. We don't live in a democracy. We live in a republic. Well, I would say we used to live in a republic. We don't live in a republic anymore because we expanded. Well, I would say one of the biggest problems is actually the central bank. When the central bank has the ability to print a quadrillion dollars, which one day I'm sure they will one day, a quadrillion. Can you guys even wrap your minds around it? When the Federal Reserve, which is a privately owned bank, by the way, it's privately owned. It's not even a government bank. Do you understand? When they can print a quadrillion dollars, which is essentially stealing from you, how can you say that we live in a democracy? It's so silly. And I don't even think it's a republic either. How did this conversation turn so political so fast? Well, I think everyone's very interested in these subjects. And now you got like Bernie Sanders saying that he wants the Boston Bombers to be able to vote. Like, are you insane? He wants the Boston Bombers to be able to vote. He said that in an interview during one of the primaries. He was asked if the Boston Bombers should be allowed to vote, and he said, it's a difficult decision, but they should. It's like, what? Look at this. This is a Zapdos from a weird thing. Cosmos Thunderstorm deck. I don't know. Those rounds will count toward the candidates law. Well, right. He knows that the Boston Bombers will vote Democrat. And that's true, actually. Have you guys ever seen a breakdown of criminal voting? So people who have a history of breaking the law all vote overwhelmingly Democrat, is overwhelming Democrat votes. And people who do not break the law, overwhelmingly Republican. That's a real statistic. Go look it up. How much are you selling the base set Clefairy for? I don't know. How much did I price it? I don't even remember. Some of those politicians are just too damn old to be making decisions for this country, let's be honest. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't want to be ageist, though, right? So I don't agree with ageism. And you can make some arguments like they're the most wise, they're the most experienced, they've got nothing to they only care about their legacy in the future for the kids because they know they're on their way out. But you can make some pretty damning arguments on the other side. You can make arguments like maybe they're not cognitively there. You know, like they're in cognitive decline. There it is. Clefairy 40. So you can make some arguments like that. Look at Joe Biden, for example. He's got a good head on his shoulders. Right. Well, I think Joe Biden's really the talking point because he really, really seems like he's having cognitive decline in the middle of his presidency. And, you know, his superiors told him, not superiors, his generals, that's what I meant to say, told him not to withdraw all the troops from Afghanistan, and he did anyways. And it caused us basically to lose everything we put those trillions of dollars into. And he's just supposed to walk that off, and I guess we're supposed to vote for the Democrats again in the next round. I don't get it. There's some things you're just not supposed to screw up. That's how you vote for a leader. You vote for a leader because they're not supposed to screw things up, and that's like the first thing he did. He did it like within his first year. I'm scared, man. I'm nervous, man. Really wild. All right, Himan-chan. He got handed the Afghanistan leave by Trump. Right. Well, I mean, he overturned everything that Trump handed him. He overturned it. But you're saying he couldn't have overturned that? He wanted to do it this way. Also, Trump actually spoke very eloquently in a speech where he said he would like to withdraw from Afghanistan, but he made it very clear that during the withdrawal, he won't do anything that would cause the United States to lose everything that it worked for over there. So he said that in a very eloquent speech. You go back and listen to Donald Trump talk about it. And Donald Trump spoke about reacting to what's happening in Afghanistan during the withdrawal. He says, I won't allow them to just kind of rush in and gut the country, right? So he's saying that in a very eloquent way. But that's exactly what Biden did. And then you got Democrats come in and they say, oh, well, it's Donald Trump's fault. He's the one that set it up. Well, Joe Biden overthrew everything Donald Trump did. This was a Joe Biden decision, and you're in denial about it. Worked for what? What did we get out of Afghanistan? I'm losing brain cells, says Ryan. I'm sorry, Ryan. Biden for retirement home. Like, you can like Biden for other reasons, but on the Afghanistan situation, it's a disaster. It's going to be another North Korea. It's an absolute disaster. The American system is based on money. If you ain't rich, then you can't run for president. I think that's true in most countries, though. I don't think that poor people get to become president. I think Biden is just the face of everything, and other people are controlling the decisions. Well, yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying in there. You're saying that he just has a team that makes the decisions, and he's just the mouthpiece. Biden pushed segregation back in the day. Next election, let's all put Mr. on our ballots. Mr. for tyrant. I swear to God, I would be the best tyrant. You guys would love me. I do all the things that Democrat leaders can't do because they have to be voted for. Democracies, They got to simp for their constituents, so they can't make any difficult choices for their country. All right, Mr. Onyx. Do you think there should be more than two parties to vote for? Two-party system, five-party system, I don't think that really matters too much, to be honest. Like in the Democrat Party right now, you've got Joe Manchin, and he's like a older style, moderate, moderate Democrat, right? But then you got AOC and Tlaib and the one girl who like hates America or whatever. They want to radically change America and bring in like heavy socialist changes to America. And so within their party, you could say there are multiple parties, but they pick a representative for their party who has the most influence. So we already have smaller parties within the country. It just doesn't look like it. So two-party system isn't really, in my opinion, isn't really that big of an issue. Donald Trump's a great example too. He was not at all like the classic conservatives, what you might call a rhino, like George Bush. Jeb Bush was running, he got clobbered. And Donald Trump was like an outsider, right? He was very different. But he called himself a Republican. So he was in the Republican Party, but he represented a very different group. He represented sort of like populists, I suppose you'd say. What day is it? Please let Alex out of the basement to come chat and play. Any no rarity? I don't think I have any no rarity here. Is Mr. Kim playing computer games? All right, I'm playing some computer games. I like how we're having this discussion, and it came about very easily because we're not like opening up tons of booster packs, and concentrating on the pulls. So let's see. Term limits are a must. See, I don't think term limits actually cut to the heart of the problem, though, because if people really didn't like, let's say, Nancy Pelosi, if people really didn't like her, they just wouldn't vote for her. You know what I mean? They'd vote for someone else. But they keep voting her in. So it's actually the people themselves. And I'm not a big Nancy Pelosi fan. Do you have any Skyridge crystals? I've got crystals, and I'm going to tell you your future. The price of home's going to explode, and you're going to be poor. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I suppose if you don't have a home now, you could actually be in a lot of trouble. So kids born today, when they're 20 years old, ready to buy a home, they could be in a lot of trouble with the price of homes. So buy an extra home now so you can hand one off to your kids. You know what I mean? How much for the Misty's Tears? The Misty's Tears was $179. How long have we been waiting? It's been one hour? Might be wrapping up soon. You got games on your phone? We only get to vote for the lesser of two evils. The system is broken. No, I don't really agree with that because you actually have the Democrat primaries and the Republican primaries. So before you have two people to vote on, you get to vote on who's going to be those two people. So, for example, the Democrat primaries was really wide. There was a lot of different choices, and it was the same for the Republicans. When Donald Trump was running in the Republican primaries, there was a lot of different people. Ted Cruz, that one guy who was basically a Democrat. I don't even remember his name anymore. You had Jeb Bush. You had Donald Trump. You had, I'm trying to remember everyone who ran. The guy from Kentucky with the curly hair. So, and these were each one is like a conservative, but they have very diverse views, Oh, right. You had the big fat guy from New Jersey, too. I can remember that he's fat, but I can't remember his name. Rand Paul, right, Brandon? So Rand Paul was the guy from Kentucky. So you get choices during the primaries. And then when the primaries are over, then it comes down to two people. The real question is how the vote actually affects the outcome. You're assuming that, Chris Christie, thank you. You're assuming that regular people know how our system works. If you don't know how our system works, I ask once again, why are you even voting? If somebody doesn't understand how our political system works, they should be denied a vote until they're educated on it. And, We can offer education on the voting system. Maybe you walk up to the booth, they sit you down in a little booth, and they go, here's how voting works, here's how our political system works. That would be fine. But you got people, you're saying there's people out there who just vote. If you don't know how any of it works, somebody could probably just twist your arm or offer you money, and you'd go vote for a guy, which is the real problem with democracy. From Canada, and I understand your system fine. I like the stream type. Will this become a regular thing? Well, I'm just pressing up some PSA slabs for today. Mr. Osam would like to donate his bag to Justin Huerta. What a nice guy, huh? He is really nice. Can I ban MetaZoo? All right. My first job as tyrant, as the new regime, is that everyone is required to open Pokemon cards. What's your opinion on the proportional versus winner-take-all system? Well, after the winner-takes-all, you have to remember that the United States works like this. You have the House, which is Congress, you have the Senate, and then you have the presidency and the Supreme Court as well. And if you become president, like let's say you're President Trump, you're not going to be able to pass any legislation without the support of your own party. So you've got these diverse views within the Republican Party, and you may have to work with those guys on their views in order to get their vote within the House and the Senate. So it's, again, people are worried that a two-party system doesn't work, but it's not like the president can just instantly write law into effect. He has to get the approval of the senators. He has to get the approval of the congressmen and congresswomen. So let's say you got Chris Christie, you got Senator Rand Paul is a great example. Senator Rand Paul, he can tell the president, a conservative president, hey, I'm going to vote against this bill. I'm going to vote with the Democrats if you don't change the bill. So that's kind of how it's working, guys. And so representatives in Kentucky can vote for somebody like Rand Paul and get that sort of perspective, expressed, I guess, in politics. All right, ghastly, huh? Let's see. What do you think about presidents having line veto power? Vote for Ash's mom, 2024. Ghastly first edition for $59. TCC for AOC. What? Columnist says, I knew it. What's this mister is living during my work shift? Don't tell my boss. Oh, you mean live. Sorry, I said it wrong. How are you getting the prices? What time is it now in America? For me, 6 o'clock, which means I got to hop off soon and hang out with my wife. Toby Lynn says, I'm still in school. Enjoy your workout, mister. Oh, my God. Why so early, mister? We're just pricing slabs. What are shadowless cards? Let's see. Chris Christie is a VMAX politician. What's the 31,070 giveaway? A whole box of base set. Are you doing the orders now? Well, you can purchase any of the slabs you see as I'm pricing them. But I won't be opening any booster packs right now. We're not opening any packs right now. What's up, John S? Yeah, the packs are not for sale at the moment. Any Haunter slabs? Maybe. Do you know the singing band, Sophie Kate? I do not know the Muffin Man. The Muffin Man? The Muffin Man. Are you going to do PayPal after slab pricing? No, I'll be hopping off and getting back on at the late night stream, just like usual. All right, I believe I'm done, guys. I'm ready to hop off now. Who lives on Drury Lane? Yes, I know the Muffin Man. Can you rotate the slabs? Actually, I can. Yes, I could totally rotate the slabs right now because I don't have a line of orders waiting to be opened up. So when I'm not helping other people, it's very easy to rotate through the slabs. So these are just some very cheap old cards. There are a few gems in here. There's a few good-looking cards. Venusaur, Vaporeon, Dark Hypno, another Onyx. I picked up Machamp and Deontay. Oh, let me grab that Deontay. And actually, let me go through PayPal and see if anyone else made any orders. All right. So we're going to look for any of the slabs that might have sold. Looks like one or two slabs might have sold. Sure. What do you think of Australia and vaccination freedoms? It's kind of a gray area for me. Here's the problem. The COVID-19 is very dangerous for people who have health conditions. Maybe they're overweight, they got a bad heart, they're older. And then it does kill people who are even seemingly healthy. So it's just overall, it's very dangerous. Oh, look, I priced these $1 off from each other. COVID's killed a lot of people, obviously, and we need to continue to protect ourselves from it and protect people who are especially at risk from it. And I think I have no problem with the government recommending the vaccine. I have no problem with the government funding the vaccine using my money. The government can have my money, and they can use that money to work on a vaccine. I think that's righteous. I think it's good. I don't think that the government should mandate a vaccine, especially on people who just want to go out to eat. We've never really done that before, in this country. Like, I think they did like school vaccines, and those were like vaccines that have been tested for a really long time. You remember the COVID vaccine's pretty experimental, it's pretty new. They say it's working, but there's no long-term studies. So I think right now to mandate it is unreasonable. And I think also it's just not even effective. I don't think people are more willing to take the vaccine just because you've mandated it at a job. I don't think the government should have that power, but Joe Biden's kind of found a way to implement that power anyways. He says, well, you have to take it or quit your job. And what's really going to happen with that, there's going to be this big economic cost to that because a lot of people are going to quit their job. So you've got this virus. It is deadly, but to a large portion of the population, it's actually not that deadly. And you're mandating a vaccine that, who knows, maybe there are some what am I trying to say, consequences to it. And yeah, it's just, I don't think it's handled very well. I think the leadership's very poor. For Australia, all these lockdowns and everything, the economic costs of the lockdowns are immense. There's immense economic costs. And then they allow, over here in America, we allowed like Walmart to stay open. It's silly. It's like you shut down all these small businesses, mom and pops, competitors to Walmart. You shut them all down. But for some reason, Walmart gets to stay open. It's almost like the government just handed a win over to these super corporations like Amazon, eBay, Walmart. Government just handed them a big win. Then the government prints a bunch of money out and we have inflation now. So overall, I think it's been a pretty big disaster. It's going to be remembered in the history books. I don't think the mandates work. I think the mandates are an overreach of government power. But again, it is a gray area. And I think it comes down to the facts about how deadly the virus is. Let's say COVID was killing one out of every two people. Well, then maybe everyone should have to take the vaccine, right? And so, yeah, it's a tough thing. It's something I'm always willing to talk about and debate. But I just think that here in America, the way we handled it is wrong. And in Australia, I think you guys lose even more freedoms in Australia. So obviously, I'm not for that either. But it's an ongoing, it's an ongoing thing, and you have to make the right choices, and they have to be smart choices. You ever wonder why one country is good to live in and another country is bad to live in? It all came down to the choices you made as a people and your leaders. If you made bad choices, your country kind of turns into a shitty place to live over time. Think of communist Russia. Communist Russia turned out very different from other parts of the world, or North Korea, South Korea. North Korea turned out very different from South Korea. So the choices that you make are playing a big role in how good your life is. All right, so let's see what we got going on here. Matthew Ciancio, give me that Machamp. You got it, Matthew. I think one thing that has to be investigated, and the people have to vote on this, you need to find out politicians who are able to affect the financial outcomes of companies and are also investing in those companies. That is beyond outrageous. Those people should beyond outrageous. Those people should be sent to jail and their money should be confiscated. You can't be a politician changing the laws on how companies run and investing in those companies before the laws are changed. It's outrageous. And that's something that we become more aware of during the pandemic. All right, so Mr. Ken Dama would like the Mewtwo slab. Right at the beginning of the pandemic, there was a Republican who did that. He knew what was happening with COVID before the public did. He knew how dangerous it was. And he started pulling all his money out. And because he was in these special briefings, he knew more about the danger of it than other people did. And he's making moves in the stock market. We just need to change the rules so that politicians cannot be enriching themselves in the stock market while they're writing the rules for the stock market or for just in general the world, just in general their country that they're living in. Like if you know our country is going to go into lockdown before anyone else, why should you be allowed to make stock changes before that's announced? Louis Laura wants the Vaporeon slab. Here you go, Louis. Do you think it's okay for politicians to invest in Pokemons? Now that, I think, is fine. That makes a lot of sense, actually, and I support it. Okay, here we are. Louis Laura says, for the Flareon slab. I think there was a Flareon slab somewhere. Here it is. All right. Nancy Pelosi for best insider trader of the decade, right? And it's not just her, though. It's just in general. It just shouldn't be allowed in general. This is for Jeremy Patterson. I'm an outsider trader. Alan Doan. He wants the PSA 9 wick. There you go, Mr. Alan Doan. That makes sense. This wick is awesome. All right, Mr. Alvaro Montes, you're getting a refund. He was trying to buy the Deontay, but it was already sold. Would you guys like another stream like this in the future? Jeremy Patterson, PSA 2 Machamp. Do 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 do. I noticed we're able to talk about things very easily because of just how calm it is. It is actually very challenging to be doing so many things with your hands during a regular night live stream and try to have some kind of complicated conversation, Samuel Jepson. He would also like the Machamp slab, but it is sold. I'm going to go ahead and send the refund. Give me a minute here. Okay, I'm refreshing. Does U.S. provide any relief funds for businesses that forced to shut down when the COVID hit? Yes. So there was a stimulus bill that printed up a lot of money and handed it out to companies that were going to struggle as a result of the lockdown. I think a lot of first world countries did that. All right, looks like we're all caught up. These will end up being for sale in the live stream tonight. I had a lot of fun, guys. This was an hour and 20 minutes. It was just slab pricing and having a conversation. Guys, tonight,